It's actually a revolution that's beginning now. It started 13 years ago when nurse coaching became a national board certification through the American Holistic Nurses Credentialing Center. Teresa?
So, as always, it's wonderful to be here. Lynn and I have been working on this nurse coaching and launching nurse coaching for 10 years now. It's hard to believe. I can't believe it's been that long. And we're trying something new. We're trying to um, bring more nurses into the coaching world because it is one of those places where, you know, I look around and I see everyone's a coach, but I don't see a lot of nurses being coaches. And so that is our mission, is to create a path for nurses to become coaches. If you're the kind of person who really wants to impact patients' lives, or your life, for example, is another one, or the people around you, I don't think we belong in one place. Most of the people I talk to, they're like, well, what does a coach do? I said, what do you like to do? And one of the ways that we talk about being a nurse and a coach is we bring all of our skills and knowledge to our practice. We've all been the nurse who, someone has a crisis and who's the first one they call? It's us. We have the knowledge, we have um, the know-how to guide people, to put people's minds at ease. And we also know that when we're at the hospital or wherever we might work, that we could do so much more. Nurses have knowledge that everyone ought to know, and it's the ability to navigate health and wellness and well-being in literally our lives. And coaching opens so many doors for that. And that's what we're here to talk about. So if you have questions about why would I even want to be a nurse coach, or what is a nurse coach, I really just want to call us a nurse who is a coach. And the way that coaching works is we don't diagnose or treat. We are actually empowering our patients or our clients to take a look for themselves about what they would like to do for their own life, often in the midst of a new diagnosis or a health crisis, or just not knowing what to do as we age and the transitions of life. Nurses have seen it all. And so we're perfectly poised to bring that knowledge to the public now.
We've really been through so much in the last 5 years as a profession, and we were very fortunate to have started as an online program, both in our own program and at Texas Wesleyan University, where our course is offered. But we have seen nurses coming out of the pandemic with more frustration, more anxiety, less sleep, and just more general questions about, why am I here? Why am I doing this now? And the answers don't seem to be there. Um, for many people, they've made a change from one department to another, or maybe they've left the hospital and gone into public health. But those changes are still within what we describe as the nursing profession. And that profession is expanding. It's growing exponentially. We are finally seeing nurses stand up for themselves and say, hey, we now that we have a seat at the table, we want our voices to be heard. So that's really what we're bringing today. We're bringing a new way of working with the public that does promote health and is a lifelong learning for the nurse. But at the same time, the nurse is nourished. The feeling of being of service is rewarded. And every day we grow as we feel that connection to our clients. Teresa, do you want to talk about September 3rd?
Yeah, so Lynn and I are putting on a one-day event on September 3rd from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're Central, it's 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And what we're going to be doing is talking, it's called Burnout to Breakthrough. And I kind of wish we would have changed the title a little bit because it's more about the breakthrough. Everyone knows what burnout is to them. I think it's a word that's been overused at this point, but it's really bringing back the emotional intelligence, if you will, to our nursing practice. And it helps us to reconnect to ourselves, to understand life better. So the one-day event is literally going to be a little bit of what we teach in our coursework, which is how thought works, how our human experience is created before we called it human intelligence. You know, I think it's a great way to talk about our emotions. But the one thing I've noticed in working with so many nurses now is we all have these emotions that we don't know what to do with. And it looks like we need to be paying attention to that. And what this is about is recognizing, you know, the gift that our emotions are, the gift that we have when we understand what we're doing with them and how it can connect us back to our purpose, to our life, to our patients, and most importantly, to ourselves and our families. So I would encourage you to come and take a look and see what coaching has to offer you. It is the most transforming, life affirming work I've ever done. The changes that I have seen come through students and through myself and the way that we show up in the world is ever evolving and ever changing and so exciting when we can finally get out of our head and get back into our life. So I really invite you to come on September 3rd, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern time, and we're having a conversation. It will be experiential. You'll get to sort of take a look into your own world and see what's there for you and see how you might like to connect it to your own life and your own work and the people that you want to serve.
The work that we're involved in now really helps people settle down their neurological pathways, their neurological system.
Yeah.
And once that is taken care of by the nurse herself, himself, it's easy to get clarity. And clarity is exactly what's lacking in the profession today. So many people are blaming the administration, the other nurses, but we need clarity, each of us, for our own selves first. And that's what we're about. That's what our course actually teaches.
Yeah. The most current words are nervous system regulation. And I actually resisted that word for a minute because I was like, I know how to do that. It turns out I don't. But the coaching process really does help with the nervous system regulation, with making better choices in our life, and truly getting out of our heads and getting into our life. That's what
There's
I
a,
really want to do. I want to be the human being who gets to engage and see my life and live it and experience it in all the forms that it takes.
there's so many distractions now, and
I
it's
know.
just like it's so much noise in the environment. So many people calling out for our attention. And once we're landed solid in who we are and what we want and the direction that we want to go in, nothing can stop us. We've had just incredible miracles happen, not only with our students, but also with our colleagues in nurse coaching. And it's a phenomenon, really, that it's only been around for 13 years. And yet already the Center for Disease Control, Medicare, Medicaid, are looking at reimbursing nurse coaching. So things are changing very, very rapidly. And it's time to come on board as you are ready to lend your own voice to the direction of the profession, worldwide, nationwide, statewide, in every area of nursing, not just within the hospital, but anywhere that nurses work.
So we will see you there on September 3rd. Any questions? Just go to nursecoaching.com and send us a message.